We're seeing a lot of disruption in the mobile space these days with new applications and new challenges for service providers in the offshore and nearshore space. One of the most impressive firms in this area is CI&T out of Brazil, which is doing a lot of interesting and innovative mobile application development for U.S. customers. Joining us today is Márcio Cyrillo, Head of Mobile Strategy at CI&T. How is development different between the mobile platform and the traditional web development platform?
Many people don't think that it's different to develop a mobile application as opposed to web application, but it's extremely different. And the way I put it, the first time I told my team about it, they were like surprised. But it's a very easy way to look at it. When you have web development, the websites that you develop are there in the web. They belong to the web. It's like the network. And whenever you are in front of your computer, you just go there and consume whatever is there. So the way you build those websites are very important. It is important that you build a good experience for the user, but it's a conscious decision of the user to go there and consume that thing. As opposed to mobile development, where basically there are apps or mobile websites optimized for mobile, and then it's a conscious decision of the user to download or to consume that and have it locally. In order for you to make the decision to have it locally, that thing must be remarkable for you in the context that you use that thing. So user experience becomes the most important thing that you have to have in mind, because you have to convince that user to download your app, to keep your app there. And I think the nearshore model, it's very important for you to really understand that user that you're building the app for. Because if you don't, it's like a bet. You're building something and believing that the user will like it. So you need to understand the audience.
Explain for me the connection between the satisfying user experience and developing in the nearshore.
Proximity in this case is crucial. The first thing we noticed when we were building our mobile studio is that we needed to really tear down the walls and having our developers and designers working together. And designers, better than anybody else, are able to connect to our brand managers that we're talking to, or our clients and IT representation inside our clients, but in the sense that they need to understand what the final user will like. So they're better prepared to discuss those things than developers. Developers are very focused on building that set of features with the right technology and do it very fast and with quality. So that proximity that we needed to build inside our mobile studio reflects on how we need to engage with our clients. It needs to be very close. If we try to get a mobile studio in China building for our users here in the US, it's not going to work because the communication won't flow the same way. We need time zone compatibility. If we don't have it, you cannot build for mobile. You can build for web because you set the specs, you send it away. People consume it, people understand it, they have their experiences already, but now we're talking about a very new model of building something.
I think a lot of clients, as you talked about earlier, struggle with figuring out what they really want out of the mobile development process. What kind of questions do you ask to really identify what the end solution should be?
I believe the best way for you to make the right questions is to think about what you're building for mobile as a product. We're not building a piece of software that will run in the smartphone and will magically attract users. You really need to do some research first to understand what is the context that user will be using the application in. That plays a definite role. You need to, if we are building a native app, for instance, for iPhone or Androids, you need to look at it, okay, I'm building a product that will be consumed, downloaded by a user. Maybe the guy is going to pay for it and will keep it in their phones. What do we need to understand about the context that the user is inserted and then build something that is meaningful in that context. And it needs to add value to the user.